Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. Man, this is an oldie but a goodie, a Holman Ultra Thin. I did a review on another Holman Ultra Thin. I got this from my days when I worked at Berean. You can tell that I erased one name with some denatured alcohol. You have to get a very thin piece of metal, dig in there, don't get it too wet. Get a little bit of thin cotton, erase the other name, and then imprint the name. After it dries, you imprint the name. If you don't, it'll get all messed up. Now, like CBD still sells Bibles like this. You can get them really inexpensive when you put another name on there. Now, this is in taupe, which I don't really care for the taupe color, but it kind of went through a fad. But this is maybe the best carrying Bible ever made. Just incredible. Let's look at the spine, and you can see at the spine, it is slightly under 1 inch thick at the spine. Feels absolutely fantastic in your hands. I'm looking forward, if the Lord will help us, to getting some comfort print Bibles from Thomas Nelson, and I want to do some reviews on that because they say that the comfort print is absolutely amazing in thin line and stuff. So look at this, it's a little less than 9 inches in height. It just feels phenomenal in your hand. I know we sold so many, probably into the hundreds or more of these, just to preachers, and it seemed like who bought them were preachers and ladies. And look at that, a little under 6 inches wide, but you just can't believe the feel of this Bible. Let's compare it to the trusty Cambridge large print that I carry, and you'll see the dimensions are very similar until you get to width. And what I mean by width is like this. You can just see how much thinner this ultra thin is. And so it takes a lot. If you could make pages out of gold, which they probably are in heaven, gold can be made into basically the thinnest substance in the world, but since we have to use paper, it's very difficult. And so where this hits, so you have to use very thin paper, dark print, and very little ghosting. And where this hit such a major home run was they computerized the print. This is one of the first Bibles they ever used computerized print in, back in the, I think, probably late 80s, maybe early 90s. We'll look at the copyright here in just a few moments. So you can see the spacing of the letters is just perfect. Now, the imperfection of this Bible is the ghosting. The lining and the ghosting may not be optimal, but the print itself is. So let's see what year they did this. And they just came out with such a great, give to section, marriages, it's like 8 pages for births and all this, and then good blank pages. Let's look at this copyright here. If there's in fact a copyright, 1987 is when they came out with this. The maps were copyrighted in 83 and 85, printed in the United States of America. And another neat thing they did, this is in red letter, is the center column is how I like a center column. It's not a lot of jumbled mess. It's just very dark, bold, like 618, and then you've got the verses right behind it. Phenomenal map. They even computerized the concordance, made it look good. So this was a real revolution in Bible production. And you just, couldn't get any better, really. And usually concordance is, the print is smaller. That's probably a 5 or 6 point print, but it was still very clear. But the ghosting is really tough. Comes with a fantastic ribbon marker. It's lasted me all these years. I've probably owned this Bible for 28 years or so. And it was in bonded leather. That was another thing about this Bible, is it seemed, I was going to make sure it was bonded leather. I thought it said, yeah, bonded leather. it seemed like that lasted, the bonded or the genuine, because of its thinness, would have last equal. And so these would come out, the bondeds were $29.95 back in the day. You're looking 30 years ago, so that's probably equivalent of double that now. And the genuines were $39.95, and they'd occasionally run sales. We could not keep these things in for graduation, for Mother's Day. Again, pastors loved them, and there's very few things yet to this day that are equal to the Holman Ultra Thin. So God bless. If you can find these, you occasionally find them, good prices on eBay. They're good to get. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.